People who have no hold over their process of thinking are likely to be ruined by liberty of thought. Nations are born in the hearts of poets. They prosper and die in the hands of politicians. The alchemist of the West has turned stone into glass, but my alchemy has transmuted glass into flint. Pharaohs of today have stalked me in vain. Ki Muhammad se wa fatune to ham derehain, yi jahan cheese hai kia lauho kalam terehain. The new world is as yet behind the veil of destiny. In my eyes, however, its dawn has been unveiled. My ancestors were Brahmins. They spent their lives in search of God. I am spending my life in search of man. From love's plectrum arises the song of the string of life. Love is the light of life. Love is the fire of life. Look at the evils of the world around you and protect yourself from them. Our teachers give all the wrong messages to our youth, since they take away the natural flair from the soul. Take it from me that all knowledge is useless until it is connected with your life, because the purpose of knowledge is nothing but to show you the splendors of yourself. Failure is not fatal until we surrender. Trying again is the key of glorious victory. The revealed and mystic literature of mankind bears ample testimony to the fact that religious experience has been too enduring and dominant in the history of mankind to be rejected as mere illusion. There seems to be no reason then to accept the normal level of human experience as fact and reject its other levels as mystical and emotional. It is the mysterious touch of the ideal that animates and sustains the real, and through it alone we can discover and affirm the ideal. The great point in Christianity is the search for an independent content for spiritual life, which, according to the insights of its founder, could be elevated not by the forces of a world external to the soul of man, but by the revelation of a new world within his soul. Islam fully agrees with this insight and supplements it by the further insight that the illumination of the new world, thus revealed, is not something foreign to the world of matter, but permeates it through and through. Thus, the affirmation of spirit taught by Christianity would come not by the renunciation of external forces, which are already permeated by the illumination of spirit, but by a proper adjustment of man's relation to these forces, in view of the light received from the world within. I have seen the movement of the sinews of the sky, and the blood coursing in the veins of the moon. But only a brief moment is granted to the brave one, breath or two, whose wage is the long nights of the grave. For centuries, Eastern heart and intellect have been absorbed in the question, does God exist? I propose to raise a new question new, that is to say, for the East, does man exist? I am but as the spark that gleams for a moment. His burning candle consumed me, the moth. His wine overwhelmed my goblet. The master of rum transmuted my earth to gold and set my ashes aflame. The poet's nature is all-searching, creator and nourisher of desire. The poet is like the heart in the people's breast. A people without a poet is a mere heap of clay. If the purpose of poetry is the fashioning of men, poetry is likewise the air of prophecy. What is the character and general structure of the universe in which we live? Is there a permanent element in the constitution of this universe? How are we related to it? What place do we occupy in it? And what is the kind of conduct that befits the place we occupy? These questions are common to religion, philosophy, and higher poetry. The highest art is that which awakens our dormant will force and nerves us to face the trials of life manfully. All that brings drowsiness and makes us shut our eyes to reality around, on the mastery of which alone life depends, is a message of decay and death. The causality-bound aspect of nature is not the whole truth. Ultimate reality is invading our consciousness from other directions as well, and the purely intellectual method of overcoming nature is not the only way. Since love first made the breast an instrument of fierce lamenting, by its flame my heart was molten to a mirror. Like a rose I pluck my breast apart, that I may hang this mirror in your sight, gaze you therein. The philosophy of Islam will be shown in terms of the modern philosophy, and if there are imperfections in the old ideas, then they shall be removed. My task is merely constructive, and in this construction, I shall take into consideration the best traditions of Islamic philosophy. When truth has no burning, then it is philosophy. When it gets burning from the heart, it becomes poetry. Individuality therefore harbors its own enemy at home, too. Nations are collectively judged and suffer for their misdeeds here and now. Sir, you are a tiny picture of my destruction. You are the interpretation of my live stream. Art is a secret lie. Nations are born in the hearts of poets. They prosper and die in the hands of politicians.